Davidoff Cool Waters or Green Irish Tweed? Which one's better? Well, hey everybody, it's Andrew Douglas Lane here at the Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. I give you my honest thoughts and opinions as I review fragrances from the cheap end all the way to the niche, luxurious, and expensive. But today, we're going to do a comparison video between Davidoff Cool Water Intense and Creed's Green Irish Tweed. A lot of people online say that they have some definite similarities. I say that very strange. Definite. I apologize. I just got up. I just started having my coffee, and I'm not right. But anyway, people say that Davidoff Cool Waters and you've got the old Green Irish Tweed. They say that they're very similar, so we're going to compare them. We're going to talk about the notes and what have you, and kind of see what I think. But again, remember, everybody's thoughts are subjective, so maybe I think they're very similar. Maybe I think they're completely different. Maybe you smell them and you think they're like identical twins, or you hate them both. It doesn't really matter. We're going to do this. We're going to talk about it. Let's do it. So I'm going to start with the more expensive of the two. We're going to do the Green Irish Tweed by Creed. It says, woody floral musk fragrance for men, launched in 1985. Green Irish Tweed was created by Olivier Creed, I think that's how you say it, and Pierre Bourdon. Top notes are iris and vervain, don't know what that is. Middle note is violet leaf, base notes ambergris and sandalwood. And it says some nice things. A walk through the Irish countryside and a favorite among celebrities. The fragrance rich, fresh, sporty, and unforgettable. Well, we'll find out about that. Because if this is in any way comparative, well, we'll forget all about this because it's much more expensive. Let's take a gander real fast and see what the price is. I think this typically goes for, it's definitely over 200. Yeah. So we're looking at, quite a bit more than that. So from Creed Boutique, it says 1.7. So I got a sample here. 1.7 is $345. That's brand new. Even on Max Aroma, you're looking at $225. So it's not cheap. With that being said, let's go ahead and give this little bad boy a sample. Let's give this a little sample. Let's give it a smell, which I guess is a sample. So we got the Creed Green Irish Tweed. And let me give it a little spray. Obviously, I'm not going to test the atomizer because it's a sample that has been repackaged. It is the real thing. This comes from a reputable, I want dealers a word I don't want to use, but okay. So I've smelled this already before. I've tried this a few times at my job, and to be honest with you, I'm not like super impressed because it's not my thing. I don't like this kind of stuff necessarily because I like things that can be a little soapy. I like things that can be a little fresh, detergent type of smell. But this is, I mean, I don't know, a lot of people say it smells like Irish Spring soap. Well, it's not quite like that, but in a way, it does sort of remind you of that. Very soapy, green, bright, fresh walk. Well, I mean, it literally says it's supposed to, well, okay, yeah. So it says it's supposed to be like walking through an Irish meadow or like the fields or what have you. So in and of itself, I guess it hammers that home perfectly. Bright, it's nice, it's just very, very green and very soapy. And to be honest with you, I think it's nice enough, but I would not want to recommend it to people because of the fact that $345 or even $225 on a discounter, well, let's be real here, that's pretty expensive. That's a lot to ask of somebody for something that's so much of a basic fragrance, especially because I don't know a lot about reformulations other than the fact that sometimes when companies are bought out by bigger companies, like if Estee Lauder buys a company that was more niche and more known for their like longevity and projection, performance, a lot of times it's known that like certain chemicals are like taken out, especially synthetics, during the reformulations, where you end up getting something that's a little bit weaker, doesn't perform like it used to, but still increases even on the price tag. Well, a lot of people say Creeds are far and away from something I care to even really use or buy. The only full bottle I have is Silver Mountain Water, which it's a great fragrance, but again, performance is not like the most amazing thing ever compared to other fragrances that are in the same category, but even maybe for a better price. So for what this is, it's definitely like, you know, a little bit way up on the price range for what you're getting out of it. To me, for like the scent profile not being the most amazing or unique thing ever, it's great. But let's check out the Davidoff Cool Waters and see if it's anywhere close. And I would definitely more recommend that because the price is like drastically different. There I go again. I don't know if you caught that, and if not, this whole me doing this is a waste, but I said different. It's different. That's going to be a word we're using from now on. This one isn't that. It's different. Jif makes me think of peanut butter. I love peanut butter. That's unimportant. But you're here and you need to get to know me, just like I'd love to get to know you. And one of the most important things probably about me is I love peanut butter. But anyway, now we're going to talk about Davidoff's Cool Water Intense. So you get a pretty good sized bottle. I believe this is a 4 ounce, 4.2 ounce, something along those lines. And this is $30 at Walmart. Even cheaper if you get it off of certain discounters, which I don't think you need to do that. I mean, $30 is $30 if it's worth it. I haven't actually given this a shot yet. I brought it to work and let a couple friends try it out, but I didn't even personally get anywhere near it or smell it. So it says, launched in 2019. If you know anything about Cool Waters by Davidoff anyway, you know that the original is a classic. So my brother, who's in his 40s, he had it in the early 2000s. So many people that I knew had the original in the early 2000s. I used to wear it myself, but it's been so long, I know it'll be nostalgic, but I don't really remember it that well. But Cool Waters Intense, I mean, it's obviously a bit of a difference. So it says 2019 by Anik Minardo. Sorry if I'm definitely saying that wrong, I'm sure. And it says top note, green mandarin, middle note, coconut nectar, base note, amber. So definitely different from the Green Irish Tweed. But let's go ahead and see if we can do the atomizer baby right here. Just did that right over my coffee cup. That's not going to be good. I got it on my coffee cup. That smells nice, but not what I wanted whatsoever. But to be honest, as it's filling up this bathroom, and I'm not saying this because this is a cheapie and like fragrance YouTubers like hyping up cheap stuff. I'm not saying that. I am a cheap person, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm not. But right out of the gate, I can already say that it's filling up the space. It's nice. It smells not actually, honestly, cheap for the price. It smells really good. Let's see if you can just, whoa. I literally just did it. I did a cut there and got a new coffee cup and just, but that's aside from the point. Let's go ahead and put this on the skin. Give it a second to chill, because again, you always need to test stuff on the skin. Paper strips is fine to give things like an open note smell, but if you want to see how things perform, you really want to know how they break down, and your own hormones are very different for everybody, like how things react chemically. So you want to try stuff on your skin. So already, this is completely different. I mean, somebody, maybe if you like change, like back off some of the notes, because I know this is different from the original Cool Waters, so technically this might have been a dumb idea, because I should have got the original Cool Waters. But I do know that this is similar enough, because even though I can't remember it perfectly, it's close enough to the original that I can compare these decently. And to be completely honest with you, they're not even close. Like, literally, really not even close. I can see how somebody who hasn't smelled a lot of perfumery, their nose isn't very well trained, I can see how somebody would be like, no, they're kind of the same, because there's like a soapiness type of feel. And to people who, whether it's like tasting food and being like a food critique or fragrances or anything really, if you're trying to assess and break down, there are, even in cheaper stuff, complexities to the skill, the craftsmanship, and professionalism that goes into making this stuff. So it's easy, if you don't have a lot of exposure to, in your head, relate things quickly to the way your nose, your brain, everything perceives stuff. I'm not calling them stupid. I'm being honest. If I was to, as someone who's not a professional food critique or chef, walk into a restaurant, certain types of food that I've never really had before, or even if I have, but you were to compare things to me, and I don't spend a lot of time with it, it's really easy for me to be like, these kind of taste the same. Or even if there's a huge quality difference, I might be like, these, I don't really see the point. I don't see the difference. Same thing happens with fragrances, if you understand what I mean. Where if you don't have a lot of exposure to different types of fragrances, there are a lot of people out there in the fragrance world who are like, this is just like this. I mean, I've even honestly done it, I think, in some recent videos where I look back on it, spend some more time with the stuff, and I was kind of comparing something based off of memory. When I actually tried it again and put it side by side, I was like, wow, I just put that out in the public and I was wrong. I'm dumb. I think people do that with these because, again, this Creed Green Irish Tweed, not my thing, not my style. It's very nice, but for the price, it's not worth it to me. But you're not going to get a cheap alternative in like comparison of the overall scent profile. So the quality of this isn't bad. That's what I will compare, is that soapiness. These two are very similar in that category. But So if you was like, are they like, could you swap them out? Yeah, you could do that if you're just looking for something that has like a nice, relaxed, fresh soapiness. But this is obviously, even just like the bottle, don't let that affect you, but like it's more blue, represents a blue field. This is obviously green, very grassy fields. As I spend more time with it, I think it's nice, but like I said, it just doesn't have the strength and power, as Jeremy Fragrance would say. It doesn't have the strength and power to be worth the money to me, but maybe older batches. But again, it's, taking a gamble. But it's not my style, but it's still nice enough. This one, I would say, if you're looking for something fresh, blue, I don't really get too much of that coconut. It's more of a backdrop feel. Again, it says green mandarin and an amber, so it's just a very basic, very flat fragrance. Nothing crazy, but for $30, that's what I'm saying. This as well is nothing crazy for $345. So I would recommend this over this, but neither one of these are for me. Not something I would wear. So you could probably wear them. You might like them, but at the end of the day, are they the same? No, they're not the same. These are, I don't know why people. Oh, I do know why. I don't know why I said that, but at the end of the day, people try to compare things so much and act like things are so interchangeable in the fragrance profile, and they're not. So you could have both, you could have neither. But at the end of the day, if you're just looking for something that's fresh, soapy, just go with Davidoff Cool Water or Cool Water's Intense. $30, you get a pretty decent amount of fragrance. If you're looking for something you can just pop on and go, and you want to just smell fresh. I don't know how well this will perform. Probably not the best. It's already flattening off on my arm as it is. So I can see this would be like a decent long-term skin scent for like a couple hours. But nothing's going to radiate off of you unless you smash it. But for $30, you could just take it with you in your pocket for all you care. But yeah, I don't really recommend Green Irish Tweed unless you just really like that Irish Spring soapy, grassy type of field smell. Then you're going to love this. But the price is just too much. I'm not one of those people who recommends people going and buying super expensive stuff. But I also don't recommend you buying stuff just to buy it. So I'd say if you can, get samples like I did. I think this is like $15, $20 off of Fragrance Net. Or you can do Max Aroma. They're a bit more pricey, but it's the same stuff. This one, I don't know if you can get samples, but $30. If you're going to pay for a sample of this and you want to try this, you might as well give it a shot, I guess. But those are my thoughts. Again, I'm Andrew Douglas Lane, Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. I appreciate you guys so much for watching and just being here. It really means the world to me. I recently hit 100,000 subscribers on here, and that means so very much to me. And I never thought this was going to happen. Then again, at the same time, it's happened extremely fast, and I understand how it happened because of the location in the world, locations where my fan base seems to be developing, and some of the spreading of some of my videos. So it's been very great. But at the same time, there's other things I'd much more like to see happen with the channel. So thank you so much for everybody who subscribed. But please continue to watch. Leave your thoughts, your comments. Tell me what you'd like to see me review and talk about. Tell me your favorite fragrances. And I'd love to just do more of things that you guys are interested in seeing me do. But I've got so many more coming. So many more videos to film that I already have fragrances for. It's not even funny at this point. But seriously, thank you guys so much for everything. And again, this was Davidoff Cool Water's Intense compared against Green Irish Tweed by Creed. They're not the same. That you could have them in the same section of your closet that you pick from, like fresh, soapy laundry, whatever, grassy, whatever, aqua. But ultimately, you can't switch them out. It's like this one is just like this. It's not. But again, you heard my thoughts. Thank you so much. Everybody's welcome to my channel, and God bless each and every one of you guys. Andrew Douglas Lane, Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel, over and out.